The Final Chapter on JFK. Chapter 1, Segment 4, List of Unlikely Suspects.
Hi, I hope you like the segment card, the list of highly unlikely suspects. You notice everyone there is wearing a aluminum foil or tin foil hat. The problem with the Kennedy assassination is everybody has theories, everybody advances them, and a lot of people do it just to get press attention, or newspapers and media are picking up on it because it can sell whatever they're selling and they get more clicks. The difficulty for Kennedy assassination researchers is it puts everyone in that same lot of wearing tinfoil hats and running around and saying that the aliens or Elvis killed JFK. What I have attempted to do over here is prepare a list of a number of highly unusual or unlikely suspects. They're all up here. There are more and more and more. I couldn't think of any more as I was trying to prepare this. And we can now use what we have learned about political assassinations and Mom++. I'm not going to spend my time nor yours going through each one of these unlikely suspects, but let me hit a few high points. Papa Doc, Haiti. The theory on that one, if you can imagine, is that the leader of Haiti killed Kennedy using a voodoo doll. The limo driver supposedly turned around and killed Kennedy. Trailing agent supposedly killed Kennedy. Babushka lady supposedly killed Kennedy. A guy with an umbrella, solely based upon somebody reading a little segment that the British had invented a umbrella that shot a bullet. Claims that Kennedy was killed. Of course, if we want to apply political assassination, there's no revolution, no cause, nothing cited, and in terms of a coup, no one took over, at least none of these people. No basis at all. We can also exclude most of the countries when we look at it. Israel, China, Great Britain, any of those countries. We did not have a revolution. We didn't get invaded by Britain. Nothing happened throughout the world against the United States after President Kennedy was assassinated. Truthfully, we can knock those out pretty darn quick. Some of the other items that maybe supply a little bit of interest is the Cuban exile theory, and that is Cuban exiles worked with Kennedy on the Bay of Pigs invasion. The invasion was a fiasco, and as a result, they sought revenge and wanted to kill Kennedy. The problem with that theory is that although the Bay of Pigs did not turn out well, Kennedy took full responsibility for it. On December 22nd, 1962, he gave the Cuban government $50 million and some tractors to get all of the captured combatants back to the United States, and he averted Cuba having nuclear weapons with the Cuban Missile Crisis, thereby allowing the Cuban exiles at least the chance of retaking their island at some time in the future. So from a practical standpoint, there's really no basis for any political assassination by this group to kill Kennedy. The ones that bother me the most out of all of the suspects up here are the matters or the claims relating to Richard Nixon, who was a president, and George Bush, who was a president. Both took office after Kennedy. Both these theories relating to both of these presidents is that in terms of a political assassination, these guys didn't benefit. Maybe Nixon got revenge for losing to Kennedy in 1960, but other than that, he didn't get another office. He didn't move up. Bush didn't get anything. Bush didn't become a president for another 25 years. So from a political assassination theory, it really doesn't make any sense. And when I watch these videos, they never explain how these men benefited, and they never explain motive, opportunity, or means. So from a practical standpoint, it is an unrealistic claim and really not worth your time. The most interesting group of unlikely suspects was the group brought up by Lyndon Johnson. And he actually brought and made a claim relating to 5 different unlikely suspects. One is John Connally, who was his friend and former campaign manager, not claiming that Connally was trying to kill anybody because he got shot, but rather that he was the intended victim, which of course there was no basis at all because If you wanted to kill Connally, you wouldn't kill him in a parade when he's surrounded by everybody. You'd kill him the next day or the day after or the day after, when he maybe had, at best, one Texas Ranger guarding him, or maybe get him when he's going out in the morning to get the paper. North Korea, same thing again. Dark country, closed off, but no basis, no support for motive, opportunity, or means. South Vietnam, I think the only reason Johnson brought up South Vietnam at all is because he was able to then have the press and the public look at Kennedy's killing of the leader of Vietnam 20 or 21 days before Kennedy's death, and that way he could kind of tarnish Kennedy's image. He did the same thing with Castro in Cuba. He brought up the fact that Kennedy had been trying to kill Castro, and as a result, Castro probably came and killed Kennedy. Although Johnson did make that claim, he also continued to try and kill Castro when he was president. And he did a number of attempts. And that was under a CIA designation called Operation Mongoose. Now that we've gone through and looked at very unlikely suspects, our next chapter is going to be looking at more likely suspects or possible suspects. Hope to see you in Chapter 2.